Joining us now from House Homeland Security, Congressman Carlos Gimenez, and energy expert from Refinitiv. He's Jim Mitchell. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Congressman, first you, talk to us about the impact of what looks to be a slow-moving Hurricane Ian lingering and staying and hovering over your state.
Well, the immediate impact is that storm surge and obviously also the high winds as the storm comes in. I mean, I was the emergency manager for the city of Miami during Hurricane Andrew, which was another 150-mile-an-hour storm. I can tell you that 150-mile-an-hour winds will cause a lot of devastation to homes, but then also the storm surge. And the storm surge images we're seeing are very troubling. And so that's the biggest threat, the one that causes the biggest loss of life is that storm surge. So hopefully most of the people, all the people, heeded the governor's warning in the storm surge areas and left. And hopefully there won't be too many people that perish in the storm. Then the lingering effects obviously are the cleanup and then the damage and the destruction caused to the homes by the wind, by the storm surge. The report of all the folks that are in elderly, facilities. How can we get power to them? How can we get, their generators to make sure that they're working? How can we get electricity back? And so we have to clear the roads, and get rescue workers and also, the power folks back in there as quickly as possible.
Yeah, we got to talk about the power. That's the power. We got to talk about power because I know the governor's talking about 30,000 linemen on standby. Jim, talk to us about the energy supply. That's a big concern for you right now, right?
It is, and I think there's two things to think about. The immediate one is the power, and a lot of that's going to have to do with how badly the infrastructure gets ripped up. If one looks at like Hurricane Laura that hit Lake Charles a bit ago, it tore up a lot of power poles, literally pulled them out of the ground, and it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 18,000. So it takes a while to get those replaced. It's not as easy as just restraining the line. That's the immediate issue. The secondary issue is going to be gasoline and diesel. Without power, no gas station is going to be able to operate. And then once they do get the power on, the port of Tampa is the main port that brings in gasoline and diesel into the west side of Florida. The port of Tampa is relatively shallow, which means as this storm churns up the seabed, it's going to bring a lot of muck and mud into this dredged channel. So this channel is dredged to 43 feet. It's not going to be 43 feet after this hurricane comes through.
Yeah. That's, Jim is raising important points here, Congressman. Given the hurricane and so much more, right? There's a lot of talk about leadership. We've got the president draining literally the strategic reserves, which are meant for hurricanes. Now we have Axios reporting the White House is preparing to force out Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen after the midterms. Also, potentially, Biden's economic advisors, Brian Deese and Cecilia Rouse, could leave next year. And the president is basically saying, he's warning about the oil and gas industry, don't raise gas prices. So, but you don't want to get political about this, but we have to talk about leadership at a moment like this, Congressman.
Absolutely. I think that our governor is proving to be a great leader, putting the resources in the state that are going to be needed. We have a lot of experience with dealing with hurricanes. And, if the port of Tampa is actually compromised, then we need to look at other ports. The Port Everglades is the port that actually provides the energy here in Southeast Florida. It may have to serve as a stopgap measure to get needed fuel, diesel, gasoline over to the West Coast. Because if you can't get the power up, you're going to have these generators, powering these vital infrastructure that we need to, get people back on their feet, especially in those elderly homes.
Yeah.
And so, again, that's leadership, and the Biden's absolute war on American energy is insane. And here's a reason why. Not only here, but across the world. It's insane policy, which I don't understand.
Yeah.
And maybe
Jim,
the president can explain to me one day.
Jim, so this is an energy story. It's a supply chain story because the ports of Florida are really important. Jim, can you just, take on just address what the congressman was just talking about?
Well, the congressman is certainly better suited to speak to the political aspect of that. I can speak to the logistical aspect of how important it is to get gasoline and diesel into Tampa, as there's 2 pipelines that go from Tampa up to Orlando.
Got it. Congressman Gimenez and Jim Mitchell, thanks for joining us. We're staying on the story.